Hi little friends. This week for STEM we're going to make beads out of recycled paper. This is in keeping with our Earth Day theme. First we're going to have a mystery reader read our story. Can you guess who our mystery reader is? I'll give you a hint. It's not Stanley. Okay, mystery reader, drop the blanket. Let's see who you are.
Recycle. More and more garbage. Every day people throw away more trash. As the world population increases, more people throw more trash away. Garbage trucks come to pick it up, but where does all this trash go? Most of it is hauled away to sanitary landfills. A landfill is a place where garbage is dumped in heaps from garbage trucks. Some sanitary landfills are lined on the bottom with a layer of clay soil covered with plastic. Bulldozers push the garbage into neat piles. Then they cover it up with dirt so that it won't smell and so that animals and bugs will stay away. Most people don't want landfills near where they live. And besides, there is so much garbage now that in many places there isn't enough room to bury it all. Where can it all go? One solution is to cut down on the amount of trash we make. We can do this by recycling some of our garbage to make it into new things. Recycling means reusing materials instead of throwing them away. It takes a lot of trees and energy to make paper. In fact, people in the United States cut down 850 million trees to make paper products each year. When the trees are cut down, they are turned into wood chips. The wood chips are mixed with chemicals and water to make pulp. The pulp is spread out on a moving screen to make a thin layer of fibers. When the layer of fibers dries, it becomes paper. Newspapers, boxes, magazines, and many other things are made from paper. When these things are through being used, they shouldn't be thrown away. Recycle. Most towns and cities have recycling centers where bundles of old paper can be dropped off. In some places, trash collectors pick up the bundles of paper and take them away for recycling. Old paper can be turned back into pulp and made into new recycled paper, using less energy than it takes to produce new paper from raw materials. Recycling paper saves trees and forests, which make oxygen and help keep the air clean. Saving forests protects the homes of many animals too. It takes lime, soda ash, and sand, called silica, to make glass. These three elements are mixed together and heated at a very high temperature to make glassy liquid. Measured amounts, sometimes dyed, are dropped into forming machines where the liquid hardens to make bottles and jars. Many products come in glass jars or bottles. Sometimes, when they are through being used, they are just thrown away. It would take thousands of years for them to biodegrade at a landfill. Instead, these bottles and jars could be reused. Recycle. Many bottles are returnable. A small deposit is paid when the bottles are bought. When they are returned, the deposit is paid back. Most of the time, the bottles are sent back to the company that made them, where they are sterilized and refilled. Sometimes the bottles are recycled into new glass. It takes less energy and creates less pollution to make new glass from old glass. The glass is crushed and remelted. Next, recycled liquid glass is poured into forming machines and stamped into new glass products. The sand, lime, and soda ash don't have to be dug again, which would waste precious natural resources and destroy forests and fields. Most cans are made from aluminum. It takes energy resources and creates pollution to produce pure aluminum. First, a mineral called bauxite is mixed with soda ash and lime. When the mixture is put under pressure, aluminum is left as a byproduct. Then the aluminum is heated and poured into molds to make cans. Many products, such as soda and foods, are sold in aluminum cans. Often when the cans are empty, they are just tossed away. It takes about 500 years for an aluminum can to biodegrade at a landfill, but these aluminum cans can be reused. Recycle. Like glass bottles, many cans are returnable for a deposit refund. After the cans are returned, they are sent to plants to be ground into small metal chips. These chips are melted down and made into aluminum bars, which are pressed into thin sheets of recycled aluminum. The sheets are then sold to can makers to make into new cans. It takes much less energy and makes much less pollution to make new aluminum from old aluminum. Natural resources such as bauxite, lime, and soda ash aren't taken from the earth to be used. Fields and forests are left alone. Plastic bottles, plastic bags, plastic plates, plastic containers. Most plastic is made from molecules called polymers, which are derived from petroleum. The plastic is heated, sometimes dyed, and poured into molds. A big problem with plastic is that it doesn't biodegrade. It can last forever. Instead of being allowed to fill landfills, litter roadsides, and harm wildlife, plastic can be recycled and used again. Recycle. Like glass bottles and aluminum cans, some plastic bottles can be returned for a deposit refund. These bottles will be sent away to be recycled into new plastic products. First, the old plastic is cleaned. Then it is chopped up, melted down, and molded into new recycled products. Recycling plastic saves natural resources such as oil and prevents pollution caused by the manufacturing of plastic. Many products are made from polystyrene, sometimes called styrofoam, such as cups, fast food packaging, and packing materials. Some polystyrene is made using gases called chlorofluorocarbons, called CFCs. These chemicals are harmful to people and animals. When they are burned, they create poisonous gases and also harm the ozone layer protecting our planet. Unfortunately, it's cheaper to make new polystyrene than to recycle it. And there are few useful products that can be made from recycled polystyrene. Plus, polystyrene is not biodegradable. Like plastic, it can last forever. The more polystyrene that is used and thrown away, the more garbage will sit in landfills for years and years. Polystyrene is dangerous to sea animals too. It floats on the water and sometimes looks like food. When sea animals try to eat it, their systems get clogged and often they starve to death. If more and more people learn to recycle, there will be less garbage and our planet will be a safer and healthier place to live. Recycling can become a habit that is fun and easy. Recycle.
So to begin our project, we need old magazines or old paper, old gift wrap, scissors, toothpicks, or you could use straws if the toothpicks are too small, and we need glue and string for stringing the beads when we're all done. Now I'm going to put the How to Make Paper Bead Jewelry online so that you can have a copy of that to follow along. I'm going to use for my recycled paper leftover paper from our roller coaster experiment a few weeks ago. So we're going to begin by cutting that into strips about the length of a page. So I'm going to show you the strips once they're all cut. My very tall son was able to get the Mod Podge out of the closet, so we're going to use that mixed with a little bit of glue for the project. And in keeping with our recycling theme, I have a tray left over from our egg dyeing, and I'm going to use the box from our egg dyeing kit for our beads as we make them so that it could dry. Here are the cut pieces of paper from our roller coaster experiment. There are the leftovers. And you'll notice I have some newspaper down so that I can keep the table from getting too messy. A quick but fun side note. The Mod Podge is left over from 2015, so it's older than many of our students. I had decided that year that I wanted to be Mr. Met for Halloween. Let's go Mets!
There's a day in April when we can all agree to take care of the planet we hold dear. But it is so important, I think that we need to celebrate it more than once a year. Every day is Earth Day. We've just got to remember every day.
For our younger friends who are setting up the experiment with straws, this is how you would set that up for them to be able to dry. And rolling it doesn't look much different.
We'll learn about wild animals. Tuesday, we can plant a tree. Wednesday, we'll find ways to save water. 'Cause every day is Earth Day around here.
It's a little bit easier to roll it onto the straw, and you can cut off the excess straw after it dries.
Every day of the year, if we're smart, we'll do our part from January to December. 'Cause every day is Earth Day around here. Thursday, we'll pick up trash at the playground. Friday, we'll take a field trip to the sea. On Saturday and Sunday, we'll recycle shopping bags. 'Cause every day is
Now we just have to wait for them to dry. And while yours are drying, you could test to see which ones dry faster if you made them out of different materials. So if you use newspaper and paper or wrapping paper, you could see which ones dry faster. Now that our beads are mostly dry, we're going to pick a pretty string to put them on. First, we need to cut away the excess straw. After you've trimmed them, you can begin working on stringing them. I'll bet it's no surprise that I picked blue.